Welcome back to Image Breaker. This movie is conventional. A king is shown at the beginning, who is the king of Persia. He has two sons. There is also his brothers named Nizam. They both brothers used to live together, and they had a good thing that Nizam and king are going somewhere with their soldiers. A kid appears before them. So a soldier falls down because of him. So that soldier beats that kid too much. Then that kid's friend comes there and he begins to run away, rescuing that kid. The soldiers bring that boy to the king after chasing him. King asks the name of that kid's friend. He tells that my name is Dastan. King asks him about his family. That kid says, I am orphan. King says to him, you have appeared to me bold and kind-hearted. Will you be my third son? So Dastan also catches King's hand. Now Dastan had become the third son of the king. He lives with both sons of King as their brother. Now 15th years have passed, and all brothers have grown up. It means that they have grown young. Their uncle Nizam is also with them. They all together plan to attack a city, because this city used to provide the weapons to their enemies. Here Dastan says that I will attack at first. King's elder son says, no, you are the younger, so he says to his own son, you will attack first. But Dastan wanted to attack himself, so he accompanies with his childhood friend, the same friend who had been beaten by the soldiers, and he reaches the fort, taking some soldiers with him. So his two brothers also come there after him. And they also begin to attack this city. Then the city's princess is seen, who was called the princess, and her name was Princess Tamina. She hands over a dagger to his special attendant, and she says to him, shield it, it should not be lost. That man leaves, taking the promise from her, but Dastan falls him down as he comes out, and he also grabs that dagger from him. Now, they move to an ancient temple. There is also Tamina. Nizam says to her, your citizens are selling the weapons to our enemies. Tamina says, that you have mistaken it. There is no one who can build the weapons in our city. Our city is very holy. We don't like the war, but no one trusts her, and all yearned that she should be killed. Then King's elder brother says to Tamina, coming there, if you marry me then you will be my princess and the part of our family. No one can kill you. Then Tamina says, no, it is better that I may die. But she consents the proposal when she witnesses that Dastan has her precious dagger. The celebration starts here, but King also misses his elder brother, and he says to him while calling, I am very angry at you, that you were going to attack the holy city, secondly without asking me. He says to his father, until I prove you, that they really used to build the weapon and employed against us, I will not appear before you. He leaves from there and hands over a suit to Dastan. It is for father. It means that it is for king. Kindly convey to him that I am getting married with Tamina. Dastan brings Princess Tamina along with him to the king, so that he may take the consent of king for his brother's marriage. Dastan gives that dress to his father. Going there, he feels excitement, seeing it. Then Dastan also presents Tamina before the king, and he says that it is the choice of my brother. He wants to marry her. So king says, he already has many wives. You are not married till now, and your age has also arrived of marriage. So I want you to marry this princess. Dastan leaves that place after being blushed. King's body begins to burn as Dastan leaves, because there was a poison in the given dress of Dastan, but it is known this dress had been sent by King's elder son. Now all suspect Dastan, so they kill the childhood friend of Dastan. Tamina says to Dastan, coming to him, we should escape, because your own men are after you. Now Tamina and Dastan escape from here. Here King dies. This news also reaches to his elder son. Dastan is telling Tamina that I had not gifted that dress. It was rather sent by my elder brother who wanted to marry you. Just be thankful that you did not get married with him. But Tamina has accompanied her for this purpose, so she may take back her dagger from him. And she also attacks Dastan, using a sword. As a result, Dastan is wounded. Then Dastan's hand is touched with that dagger, so he goes back to the time of a few seconds ago. When Tamina is nearly to kill him with the sword, he says to him, catching his hand, will you not take out the sword? Then Tamina says, when did I take it out? Dastan says, I have witnessed everything. You were going to do it. Tamina asks him, oh, you used the dagger. Now who will add the magical sand in it again, because it works only for once, when it has that magical sand? Now Dastan says, I will have to reveal everything to my uncle Nizam, because his brother is no more in this world. He moves there while riding on his horse. But Tamina warns him, the way you're choosing to move is very perilous. So Dastan says to her, I don't care. Now Tamina also accompanies him. Tamina feels thirst on the way, and she pretends as she has lost her consciousness. Dastan asks her, What happened? Then Tamina takes a ball, putting aside, and she grabs the dagger and escapes while targeting his head. Here Dastan is knocked out. When he comes into conscious after some times, then he observes that there are some people in his surroundings. Their leader is Sheikh. He says to him, "You are in our possession. You will have to pay something in return if you love your life." Dastan says that a princess is going ahead. They seize her, riding on their horses. Dastan snatches the dagger from him, and he hands Tamina over to them. Now Sheikh returns to his place with his men, and he had still not released Dastan. Then he knows that he is the same son of the king who has killed his own father, and he will be awarded with a heavy amount of money who will tell about him. On the other side, Tamina, who is taking care of the ostriches, she opens the cage of ostriches. As a result, all ostriches begin to run. Getting the chance of it, Dastan and Tamina also begin to escape. They disguise themselves, coming out of that place, and they reach that place of his uncle Nizam with some people. Coming out of that place, he says to Nizam, "Going here. You trust me? I have not killed my father." Then Nizam says, "Yes, I know." Dastan gives him the dagger cover, but Nizam says, "It is only the dagger cover. There is not any dagger." It means Tamina had run after stealing that dagger again. Then Dastan notices that Nizam's hands have burnt, as King's body burnt while putting on the dress. He comes to know that there was no anyone else to poison his king's dress but his brother Nizam. Nizam knows it that Dastan has known about his wrong deeds. So he orders to seize him, but Dastan escapes, getting rid from the soldiers. Going outside, his elder brother attacks him, and he catches him, but Dastan comes outside rescuing himself. And he says that "I have not killed the king. The killer will soon appear before you." Here Nizam goes to the elder son of the king, and he says that Dastan had arrived to kill me. No one knows that he may kill all of you. Make him seize. But he does not believe on this, so Nizam himself moves to the gang leader, and he says him, "I have a task for you. You will have to bring back that dagger and Dastan." Now the criminal moves away in search of Dastan, because Nizam has dodged him. On the other side, Dastan also searches for Tamina. He takes the dagger from her. Dastan asks Tamina, "Why do you want to get this dagger? What is the specialty of it?" Then Tamina tells him that Nizam wants to grab this dagger. "You were going to commit a blunder, giving him this dagger. He wants to get the seat of king in place of his brother while moving backward in time, and I want to keep this dagger on its place as soon as possible." Then Dastan says, "Oh, it was the fact. I will also assist you." Now they move to keep this dagger on its place happily. Sheikh appears there when they have some rest, moving forward. And he says to them, "My ostriches ran away because both of you. Who will pay my loss now?" Then they feel the sound of something. On the other hand, that criminal is also chasing them. Now they all sleep at that night. Then that criminal frees some of the snakes there, who had come to attack the people. When Sheikh's special attendant witnesses that snake, then he is confused that Dastan puts him into death, hitting him with the burning wood. That man inspires from him and gives him that dagger, so he may kill the other snakes. Here Dastan begins to kill the other snake. He rescues the life of Sheikh and other people. Sheikh also likes it much, and he says to Dastan, "I forgave you. I may leave you where you wish to go." Now Sheikh begins to return after leaving Tamina and Dastan. Then Tamina calls Sheikh, "We will have to need of your help. It may be not credible for us to go there alone where we are going." Then Sheikh declares, "I have also many other pursuits." Then Tamina says, "I know that you are in search of the money, and you may get a lot of money and gold where we are going." Then Sheikh begins to accompany them after having lust. They start to leave that place. Then Dastan's elder brother approaches there. It means the second son of the king. He says to Dastan, "Coming there, you have killed our father. You had never been a loyal." Dastan hands over the dagger to Tamina and says, "You may go, I come." And he says to his brother with it, "Brother, I did not kill my brother. It is all the sin of Nizam, so he may get the seat of the king, and no one knows that he may also kill all of you. And he will surely do the same." But his brother does not trust him. Then that criminal arrives there and he starts to attack the brothers of Dastan. Returning back, he also attacks the elder son of the king. And he is knocked out. Contrarily, Tamina reaches the temple there. Now Tamina is going to keep that dagger at that place. That same criminal appears from backside. And he attacks him with the iron tool. He kills him. Afterwards, he moves to Dastan. Here Tamina loses her consciousness. Her drop dagger is engulfed by the criminal's approached snake. And it gives to its owner. That criminal is nearly to kill Dastan. Then King's second elder son, who was Dastan's elder brother, gets understanding all. He lifts a spear, putting aside, and he stabs that criminal's stomach. Consequently, he has died there immediately, but he had also injured himself along with it. And he says to Dastan before dying, "My brother, I trust you, protect our kingdom, you can do it." Dastan and Tamina are both worried, because they had lost the dagger. Contrarily, it is seen the same snake, which had gone to give that dagger to its owner after engulfing it. Interestingly, the owner gets that dagger, tearing it up, and he hands it over to Nizam directly. Then it is seen that Dastan buries his brother. He says to Sheikh that we will return to take back that dagger. Here the special attendant of Sheikh suggests him, we should help these people, so Sheikh agrees and all people move to Nizam, so they may take back that dagger. Now Nizam and his men are searching for that magical sand there, which may be put into that dagger, and they may return, reversing the time, but they are not getting it after digging it deeply. They perhaps are not able to take it. Now Sheikh's special attendant says outside, I am strongest, so I will take that dagger, I can do as such. Now they make all the guards unconscious out of the temple, and that man enters, but the criminal throws a knife on this man's chest. He is wounded but his life is rescued. Now Sheikh's special attendant throws on that criminal, which targets his body. So that criminal is ended perfectly. Then that man had also received the poisonous nails in his shot during this dispute, and he really picks up the dagger in spite of his being brave, and he throws it to the sheikh outside. Then he says to his soldiers, when Nizam knows, bring him to me. Meantime, Dastan comes to his elder brother and he says while they're putting the sword in his neck, brother, be wise. Just think about it yourself. If Nizami is the murderer of our father, then Dastan's elder brother says, are you mad? Why did our uncle commit this? Dastan says, it is uncle who can commit it, because he is only brother of our father, and he himself kills the king so he may get his seat of king. It is understandable, why is he wanting to get this dagger? So he may travel in the past time, adding the magical sand in it, and he may become the king when our father was being crowned. Dastan's brother says, I am not going to be trapped in your useless talk. You may tell this story to someone else, going there. Dastan replies, why did I tell this story? Then his brother says, because you also want to kill me. You yourself wish to be the king. Dastan says to him, no brother, I don't want to kill you. Look, I may kill myself, but I may kill before. Just press the button when I stab a dagger to me, so you will know about it. Then he stabs Dastan stabs himself a dagger. At the same time, Nizam approaches there. Then Dastan's elder brother says to him, stop yourself there until I say you. Then he presses the dagger and she returns in the time, where Dastan is going to stab the dagger to himself. Then his brother says to him while stopping, my brother, I have believed you, don't stab a dagger to yourself. He had known the whole reality, but Nizam gets aggressive, seeing it, so he cuts the throat of Dastan's elder brother. And he also struggles to kill Dastan with the same dagger. Then Tamina appears and she begins to divert the attention of that criminal. Getting the chance of it, Dastan kills him. On the other side, Nizam had got the magical sand, which he was going to get. Tamina and Dastan also reach there from the other way. The path is damaged because of their walking on it. But Doton begins to walk, stabilizing himself. Then it is seen that criminal is not dead but alive, and he begins to make his snake attack them, but they make his snake to sting on his own eye. As a result, he meets his end because of spreading the poison. They reach to Nizam so they may stop him, but Nizam stabs the knife to Dastan, leaving him injured. Tamina also pushes Tamina. That Dastan catches her hand, and he saves her from falling. Then Tamina says to Dastan, leave my hand. Go and protect Nizam. He is going to place that dagger there. Now he will become the king, and such cruel king may prove a threat for any kingdom. It is essential for you to carry it out. Here Dastan has to leave her hand. He stops Nizam, going to him directly, but it gets late. And Nizam puts the dagger into the van of the dagger. As a result, he begins to travel in very past time. Dastan still takes that dagger out of that place. Consequently, the time begins to restore. Then the sandstorm breaks out there, and they reach a place, flying in it. Now Dastan finds himself in the same place. There was not started any turmoil there, and his all family members were alive. Here Dastan reveals everything to his all brother. When Nizam knows about it, that I am recently going to be caught, so he begins to attack on King's elder brother, but King's elder son kills him while stabbing. Dastan elder brother goes back to the same holy city and pardons Tamina there, that we attempted to at you while alleging you. Then he asks her to marry with his brother named Dastan, where their marriage is held excitedly. They put the dagger on its old place. The movie completes on this scene.